Hey scholars, it's Miss Amana. Last week I ran into a lot of questions about math, and so this week I'm kind of going to do a pre-teach video for each day. So I'm on week 2, day 1 of our math, and there are some vocabulary words I want to pre-teach before you jump right into it. That might help you, so you might not have questions later on. Don't worry if you still have questions after watching this video. Go ahead and call me. I can answer them as much as possible. But it is really important you do have some math notes here. Math notes, there are a couple of words that we need to know. Factors, okay? Factors are numbers multiplied together. So in this example, the numbers that are multiplied together are 6 and 5. So those are our factors. 6 times 5 equals 30. Multiples are numbers we get after multiplying factors. So if you go back to the example, a multiple is 30. 6 times 5 are the factors, and 30 is the multiple, because it is the number we get after multiplying the factors. So understand the difference between factors and multiples, because question number 1 asks, which list has all the factors of 20? So in that case, you are listing the factors as your answer, and the multiple in that case is going to be the number 20. So hopefully that will help you answer that. For the rest of them, they're word problems. And so for some of the word problems, we need to understand what words in the word problem tell us exactly what math we need to use. We can either add, subtract, multiply, or divide. So here we have anytime in a word problem you see the words times as many or times as much, you're going to multiply. Times as many, times as much tells us to multiply. And then anytime you see the words gives out same number 2, gives out same number 2, or distribute into equal groups. Distribute or gives out, and then making sure that they're equal groups, that tells us to divide, okay? And then words like leftover or does not hand out. So whatever is left over or doesn't get handed out, that tells us we need to what? Subtract. Or doesn't get handed out, that's a remainder of our division, okay? That could also mean remainder of our division. So I'm going to write that down. What is left over? So we're going to subtract, divide, and multiply. Okay? So multiply, times as many, times as much. Divide, distribute into equal groups, gives out equal numbers, and leftover, subtract. Everything that does not get handed out is the remainder. And then the last thing I wanted to show you is the last question on our math is about finding the pattern. And it shows you a pattern of 10. So the whole thing about finding a pattern is really look at from the beginning and see where it starts repeating again. So I see triangle, triangle, square, circle, star. So far those are all different. Triangle's the same, but then it goes to square, so that's different. So it's still the first pattern, the first set. Triangle, triangle, square, circle, star. Then it goes back to triangle again, and that's something that's familiar. And it goes again. Triangle, triangle, ooh, that's the same. Square, that's the same. Circle, that's the same. Star, that's the same. So I'm gonna, oh my goodness, look at it. It's Callie. Just say hi, baby girl. And say hi? Okay. I guess, oh, okay. Let me teach. Okay, so I noticed that the pattern starts over again after the star because it goes back to triangle. So I'm just going to group them together into their equal groups like this and say, guess what? I think that's the pattern. So if the question asks me what shape is going to be represented on the 98th term, I know that my pattern repeats every 5. So if I know my 5s, I can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95. So I know that 95, all of those end in a star. So if I'm trying to figure out what the 98th one is, then I can start over. 95 ends in a star. So then 96 would be a triangle. 97 would be a triangle. 98 would be, and then that's when you figure it out yourself. All right. Hopefully that helps. I will be calling all families today just to check in again on your homework. Bye.